The galaxy had grown quiet in the outer rim. For centuries, humans were considered a primitive species, scattered across small colonies and barely recognized by the powerful galactic empire. Most civilizations treated Earth as a legend, a lost cradle of humanity that had vanished long before the empire rose to dominate the stars. But in the dark regions beyond the mapped space lanes, a signal flickered, almost a whisper, one that no empire sensor had ever recorded before. Captain Aaron Solis sat in the cockpit of his ship, the Starlight Horizon, watching the faint pulse of light on the navigation screen. His crew of humans was small but skilled. They were explorers, scavengers, and dreamers, bound together by curiosity and loyalty to the species the Empire had dismissed. Aaron leaned forward, eyes narrowing as he traced the coordinates. "This signal? It's unlike anything we've seen," said Lena Vorek, the ship's chief engineer, her fingers dancing across the console. Her eyes glowed with the reflection of the faint light, excitement clear in her expression. "It isn't just a beacon, it's active. Like someone, or something, is alive out there." Aaron nodded, feeling a mix of anticipation and caution. "The Empire doesn't know about this system. If we get there first, we might uncover something that could change everything." For weeks, the crew had been following whispers of lost Earth technology. Most dismissed it as legend, a prototype warship so advanced that it could destroy entire fleets. Earth had vanished long before the Empire had consolidated power, leaving no trace of the ship. But the signal now was real, undeniable, and it pulsed like a heartbeat, as if calling specifically to humans. The journey to the coordinates was perilous. They navigated through asteroid fields dense enough to tear a smaller ship apart, dodged radiation storms that could fry electronics, and skirted dark energy anomalies that bent light and time. Aaron's crew worked together with precision. Every maneuver required instinct and skill. Every decision had to be calculated. "This storm is growing unstable," Lena said, her voice tense as alarms blinked on the console. Energy arcs danced across the hull as the ship shuddered. "If we don't plot a safe course, we'll be blown apart." Aaron's hands moved quickly over the controls. "Hold steady. Trust the system. Trust me." The Starlight Horizon lurched as it pierced the outer edge of the storm. Lightning-like discharges of energy arced across space, illuminating massive rocks drifting in the void. For a moment, the crew held their breath, feeling the power of the storm as if space itself had come alive to test them. Finally, they emerged into calm space, the storm behind them and the coordinates ahead. On the screen, the signal grew stronger, pulsing steadily like a living heartbeat. Aaron's heart mirrored the rhythm of the beacon, a mix of awe and nervous anticipation. "There it is," he said softly, almost reverently. "The source of the signal." The system they entered was unlike any they had seen. Planets and moons hung in irregular orbits, their surfaces scarred by ancient impacts. Asteroid belts stretched like ribbons of shattered stone, and faint remnants of destroyed ships drifted silently through space. At the center of it all, partially hidden in a field of dark energy, floated an enormous vessel. It was enormous, larger than any human ship in history. Its shape was strange, angular yet organic, as if designed to move with the flow of space itself. Lines of faint energy ran along its surface, pulsing like veins in a living body. The signal emanated from it, steady and strong. Lena's voice trembled with excitement. It's real. It's the prototype." Aaron swallowed hard, taking a deep breath. "We need to be careful. Whatever built this, it wasn't meant to be found." The crew prepared to dock, navigating through debris and ancient defense satellites. As they drew closer, the ship seemed to respond. Energy shields flickered into existence around the prototype, but they were not hostile. Instead, they seemed to guide the humans, allowing the small Starlight Horizon to approach safely. Inside the prototype, corridors stretched endlessly, lit by soft blue energy. The walls were smooth, almost alive, humming with a quiet power that resonated through the crew's bones. Holographic displays flickered to life as they walked, showing schematics, battle data, and logs from centuries ago. This ship, it's more advanced than anything the Empire has, said Ryan Cale, the ship's science officer. He traced his hand over the holographic display. Every system is self-repairing. Every defense is reactive. This isn't just a ship. It's a living weapon. Aaron felt a thrill of pride mixed with fear. And it belongs to humans, not the Empire. As they explored further, the logs revealed the prototype's origin. Earth had built it in secret during the final years of its civilization. The Empire's rise had forced humans to abandon their homeworld, and the prototype had been left hidden, its mission incomplete. Designed to defend the planet from overwhelming forces, it was equipped with technology far beyond what any civilization had seen. Faster-than-light combat systems, energy manipulation capable of tearing fleets apart, and cloaking mechanisms that could render it invisible even to the most advanced sensors. This ship could destroy the entire Galactic Empire fleet, Lena whispered, awe in her voice. But why was it left here, dormant? Ryan's face darkened. Because the designers feared its power. They wanted humans to survive, but they also feared that giving anyone this much power could destroy everything. Before they could fully grasp the meaning, the ship shuddered. Lights flickered, and the hum of energy increased. The prototype had sensed their presence, recognizing humans as its rightful operators. It was awakening, slowly, deliberately, testing them. Outside, sensors picked up a new blip. The Galactic Empire fleet was arriving. Hundreds of warships, confident in their superiority, were moving in formation. Their commanders had detected the signal and assumed it was unguarded, an abandoned relic ripe for capture. They had no idea that humans were already inside, ready to claim their inheritance. Aaron's jaw tightened. They're here sooner than I expected. We can't let them take this. Lena looked at him, determination in her eyes. The ship, it recognizes us. If we command it, it will fight for humanity. Aaron nodded. Then we have no choice. As the Empire fleet approached, the crew scrambled to understand the prototype systems. The ship responded almost instinctively, its corridors shifting to guide them to the control center. Holographic interfaces activated under their touch, translating their commands into the ship's language of energy and movement. This is incredible, Ryan said, awe in his voice. It's learning from us. It's adapting. The Starlight Horizon crew realized something profound. The prototype was not just a weapon. It was a living testament to human creativity and ingenuity. Its full power had been dormant for centuries, waiting for humans capable of understanding it. And now, after so long, the forgotten Earth ship was awake. Aaron stood in the control center, staring at the holographic display of the incoming Empire fleet. The massive ships glinted in distant starlight, confident in their superiority, unaware that they were about to face something unimaginable. We are not primitives, Aaron said quietly, almost to himself. Not anymore. The prototype thrummed beneath their feet, as if agreeing. Its energy pulsed in harmony with the human's heartbeat, ready to defend what remained of Earth's legacy. The crew exchanged determined glances. They knew the coming battle would decide humanity's place in the galaxy. And for the first time in centuries, humans were not just surviving. They were about to show the galaxy their true power. Outside, the Empire fleet formed into attack formation, engines blazing. They were confident, arrogant, and unprepared. The Starlight Horizon crew braced themselves, but it was the prototype that would take the lead, guided by human hands and human intellect. The first shot of the battle had not yet been fired, but the galaxy was about to witness something that would be remembered for centuries: the return of humanity and the awakening of the forgotten Earth prototype. And in the dark, distant void of space, the pulse of the prototype's signal grew stronger, a heartbeat echoing through the galaxy, announcing that humans had returned, not as victims, but as masters of their destiny. The stage was set. The Empire was coming. And humanity, armed with its own forgotten brilliance, was ready to change the fate of the stars. The silence of the outer rim shattered with a low, vibrating hum. The prototype ship floated in orbit, dormant for centuries, but now alive with energy. Its hull glimmered faintly, reflecting distant starlight like a jewel in the void. Inside, Captain Aaron Solis and his crew moved cautiously, their steps echoing through wide corridors lined with smooth metallic surfaces. The ship pulsed beneath them, responding to their presence, almost as if it recognized its long-lost human operators. "This is incredible," said Rienkel, tracing his fingers across a holographic display. "Every system is self-repairing, every defensive mechanism, it's all active, and it's learning from us." Lena Vorek adjusted the controls, her brow furrowed in concentration. "It's almost alive. The energy readings are dynamic, not pre-programmed. It's responding to us as if it can anticipate our needs." Aaron nodded, feeling the weight of responsibility settle on his shoulders. "Then we need to be careful. This is not just a weapon, it's a legacy of Earth. We can't let the Empire take it." A warning blip on the navigation panel broke the moment. The Galactic Empire fleet was approaching fast, their massive warships forming a crescent around the system. Hundreds of vessels bristling with weapons were confident in their superiority. They had scanned the signal and assumed it was unprotected, a relic ready to be claimed. But they had no idea that the ship's rightful human operators were already on board, and ready. Aaron turned to his crew. "They're here sooner than we thought. We don't have much time. Lena, focus on the defensive systems. Rian, help me with navigation. The prototype. It's going to need our guidance." Inside the prototype, the corridors shifted subtly as if sensing the imminent threat. Energy conduits glowed brighter, and faint hums of machinery pulsed in harmony with the humans' movements. The ship had awoken fully now, its sensors scanning the Empire fleet with speed and precision far beyond current human technology. "This ship? It's alive," Ryan whispered. "It's reacting to them already. Look, those readings. It knows where their weapons are and it's preparing to counter them." Outside, the Empire's flagship moved into position, a massive vessel bristling with energy cannons. Admiral Crichton, a veteran of countless campaigns, stared at the holographic display in disbelief. "They have a human crew in there? This isn't possible. That ship, it's old, ancient, and yet it's alive." His officers shifted nervously. "Sir, our scans show life signs, but nothing beyond humans. They can't possibly control this ship alone. We have the numbers, the firepower." "Numbers won't matter," Crichton interrupted, his voice sharp. "This ship is not like anything we've seen. Target it anyway. Prepare for attack." Back inside the prototype, Aaron stood at the control center, his hands hovering over the holographic interface. The ship responded to his intentions, its systems aligning with his commands. "Ready to activate defensive mode," Lena said, her fingers flying across the panel. "Shields are up, energy distribution optimized, weapon systems partially online." Aaron nodded. "Good. Let's show them what humans are capable of." The first shots came without warning. Lasers streaked across the void, their red beams cutting through space toward the prototype. The ship's shields flared, absorbing the impact with minimal disruption. Inside, the corridors vibrated gently, a reminder of the immense power contained within. "Impressive," Ryan said, eyes wide. "Even their main cannons don't seem to harm it." But the Empire fleet was relentless. Hundreds of ships moved in coordinated patterns, trying to surround the prototype. Missiles streaked through space, energy bolts danced across the void, and fighter squadrons dived toward the ship with suicidal precision. Yet the prototype reacted with fluid, almost organic intelligence. Shields shifted, weapons adjusted, and energy pulses deflected attacks before they could reach the hull. Aaron marveled at the ship's speed and precision. "It's learning. Every attack, every pattern. It's adapting instantly." Lena grinned. "It's like the ship can think ahead, anticipate their moves. Humans were meant to pilot this." Ryan's voice trembled slightly. "It's more than that. It's cooperating. The ship knows we're humans. It's trusting us." The Empire fleet, confident in their overwhelming numbers, launched their flagship's ultimate weapon, a massive energy cannon designed to obliterate entire planets. The beam fired, stretching across space toward the prototype. The human crew held their breath, knowing the entire system could be destroyed in seconds. The prototype reacted instantly. Its hull shimmered as energy fields formed around it, bending space itself to deflect the beam. Then, with a sudden surge, the ship accelerated faster than anything in recorded history, disappearing from the beam's path. When it reappeared, it was behind the Empire flagship, energy weapons already charging. Aaron's voice was calm but commanding. Engage. Target their main cannon. The prototype unleashed a wave of energy unlike anything the Empire had ever seen. Shields were torn apart, weapons melted, and the flagship's hull shuddered under the attack. Sparks flew from exposed systems, and alarms blared as the massive ship struggled to respond. Crichton stared at the display in horror. Impossible! How is this happening? That human? They're controlling it. No, the ship is controlling itself. Learning. Adapting. The smaller ships in the fleet tried to regroup, but the prototype anticipated their movements. Energy pulses disabled engines, gravitational fields trapped fighters, and laser systems cut through squads of attackers before they could reach their target. Every tactic the Empire used was countered with surgical precision. Aaron watched, awe mixed with fear. The ship, it's unstoppable, but we need to be smart. Every action we take must count. Inside the control center, the crew realized that the prototype's true power wasn't just in its weapons. It was in its ability to combine human creativity with advanced technology. When Aaron suggested a strategy, the ship adapted in real time, predicting enemy maneuvers and exploiting weaknesses. This is human ingenuity amplified, Ryan said, voice filled with wonder. The ship isn't just fighting, it's learning. From us. Outside, the Empire fleet's morale faltered. Ships that once felt invincible were being destroyed one by one. Admirals shouted orders, but the prototype always seemed one step ahead, outmaneuvering their formations, dismantling their weapons, and striking with precision. Crichton's face was pale. Retreat? No, we cannot retreat. The Empire does not lose. But the fleet had no choice. Every attempt to strike the prototype resulted in devastating losses. Entire squadrons vanished, and the flagship was crippled. For the first time, the Galactic Empire realized that humans, long dismissed as weak, were capable of brilliance and resilience that no machine or fleet could overcome alone. Inside the prototype, the ship pulsed with energy, as if celebrating the victories it achieved with the human crew. Aaron felt the weight of the moment. This was more than a battle. It was a message to the galaxy. Humanity was not primitive. Humanity could rise. Captain, Lena said softly, they're trying one last attack. They're combining everything they have to overwhelm us. Aaron studied the fleet, calm and calculating. Let them come. We'll show them the true power of Earth technology, guided by human hands. The Empire fleet fired everything in a synchronized barrage, a wave of energy, missiles, and fighters aimed to crush the prototype. The crew braced for impact, but the ship moved with fluid grace, a living entity. Shields shifted, weapons countered, and the prototype struck back with waves of energy that dismantled the Empire's assault before it could touch the hull. Ryan watched, almost breathless. It's beautiful. Every move, every strike, it's perfect. Aaron's voice was steady. It's not perfect. It's human. Enhanced. And that's why it's unstoppable. The battle raged for hours, though time seemed distorted in the outer rim. When the final barrage ended, the Empire fleet was in ruins. The flagship drifted powerless, smaller ships scattered and destroyed. Silence returned to the system, broken only by the quiet hum of the prototype and the crew's steady breaths. Aaron stepped back from the controls, exhausted but resolute. This is only the beginning. The Empire will never forget this day. Lena looked out at the ruins of the fleet. We didn't just survive. We proved something, humanity. We're not weak. Ryan nodded, eyes wide. The galaxy will know now. Humans are more than survivors. We're creators, strategists, warriors when needed. The prototype pulsed softly, almost in agreement. It had awakened, fulfilled its purpose in part, But more importantly, it had chosen its allies, humans. And together, they had shown that even a species long underestimated could change the balance of power in the galaxy. Aaron's eyes burned with determination. We've won today, but the Empire won't stay silent. They'll come back, and next time, we'll be ready. Outside, the system was calm again. Stars twinkled in distant orbits, asteroids drifted silently, and the remnants of the Empire fleet floated like broken toys. The signal from the prototype pulsed steadily, a beacon of human resilience and power. The legend of the Forgotten Earth prototype was no longer a myth. Humanity had reclaimed its legacy, and the galaxy had witnessed, for the first time in centuries, the awakening of a force that could not be ignored. And somewhere, deep in the prototype systems, a soft hum echoed, almost like a heartbeat, waiting, learning, and preparing for the challenges yet to come. The void of space was quiet, but the silence was deceptive. Far beyond the known sectors, remnants of the Galactic Empire fleet limped away from the shattered system, stunned by the power of the Forgotten Earth prototype. Yet, Captain Aaron Solis and his crew knew this was only a temporary victory. The Empire would not forget. It would return with greater firepower, more cunning strategies, and advanced weapons. Humanity had proven itself, but the war for survival and recognition was only beginning. Inside the control center of the prototype, Aaron's hands hovered over the holographic panels. The ship pulsed beneath him, alive with energy. It had learned quickly from the previous encounter, adapting its shields, weapons, and navigation systems. The bond between humans and the ship had grown stronger. It was no longer just a machine, but a partner in combat, guided by human creativity. "We can't let them recover," Aaron said, his voice calm but firm. "We need to anticipate their moves. Lena, scan for any fleet signatures in nearby sectors. Rian, analyze their tactics from the last engagement. The prototype must be ready for anything." Lena nodded, fingers flying across the controls. "I'm picking up signals, multiple fleets in transit. They're trying to regroup and repair." But wait, there's something new. Ryan's eyes widened. New technology. The Empire has deployed experimental weapons. These systems aren't in any record we've seen before. If they use them, we could be outnumbered and outgunned. Aaron took a deep breath. "Then we fight smarter, not harder. The prototype has adapted to their standard tactics. These new weapons will be no different. Let's see how creative humanity can be." The prototype pulsed in agreement. Its energy veins glowed brighter, corridors shifting as if preparing for the battle ahead. It had learned the value of human intuition. While its systems were advanced, the creativity and unpredictability of human thought were what made it truly dangerous. The Empire fleet returned with vengeance. Hundreds of ships formed an immense formation, weapons gleaming in the distant starlight. At their center was a new flagship, larger and deadlier than the last, bristling with experimental energy cannons. Admiral Crichton, furious and humiliated, issued orders with a mix of anger and desperation. "Destroy it," he shouted. "Leave nothing. That human has no right to this weapon. We will prove the Empire cannot be challenged." Energy beams lit up the darkness as the Empire's experimental weapons fired simultaneously. The prototype reacted instantly. Its shields flared, bending the energy beams harmlessly around its hull. In a fluid motion, the ship accelerated, moving faster than anything the Empire could track. Aaron directed the prototype with a combination of instinct and strategy. "Focus on their flagship. Disable its engines first, then neutralize the weapons. Use evasive patterns to minimize their energy output. Lena, Ryan, coordinate all systems with me." The prototype moved with precision, weaving through a deadly gauntlet of energy, missiles, and fighter swarms. Smaller ships tried to flank it, but gravitational fields generated by the prototype trapped them in invisible chains. Energy pulses dismantled engines, while automated systems targeted weapons and communication arrays. "This ship? It's predicting everything," exclaimed Ryan, watching the holographic displays. "It's like it can read their minds." Aaron shook his head slightly. "Not their minds, their strategies. It's using human logic combined with its own calculations. Every move we suggest becomes a new option for it to exploit. The Empire flagship fired its main experimental cannon, a weapon designed to split space itself and crush anything caught within its beam. Aaron studied the weapon's energy patterns. Lena, focus shields on the vector of the beam. Rian, calculate the deflection trajectory. Prototype, follow my instructions precisely. The beams struck, and for a moment space itself seemed to shimmer. Energy tore through the void, slicing asteroids in half and igniting gas clouds. The prototype shuddered, but its shields held. With a burst of speed, it moved along the deflected path, emerging behind the flagship. Its weapons charged, and a concentrated energy blast ripped through the flagship's hull, cutting its engines and disabling its shields. Crichton stared at the display in horror. Impossible! It moves faster than light calculations allow. How can a human control? No, the ship. It's learning. Meanwhile, smaller Empire vessels tried coordinated attacks. Fleets split into multiple formations, deploying wave after wave of drones and fighters. But the prototype had anticipated these tactics. Energy waves incapacitated the drones. Fighter squadrons were trapped in shifting gravitational currents, and advanced sensors detected every approach before it could become a threat. "This is insane," Lena muttered, sweat glistening on her forehead. "We're not just fighting, they're fighting themselves." The prototype knows exactly what they'll do before they do it. Aaron's face was calm. That's the advantage of human strategy. The Empire relies on rigid procedures. We're flexible, unpredictable. The prototype uses our creativity as its weapon. Hours passed in a blur of movement and energy. The Empire fleet suffered devastating losses. Ships that had once been feared across the galaxy were destroyed or crippled. Still, Admiral Crichton refused to yield, his mind devising a final desperate plan. "Prepare the singularity bomb," he shouted. "If we cannot defeat the prototype, we will destroy the system. Humanity will not take this weapon." Aaron's eyes narrowed. "A singularity bomb? That could collapse this entire system. We can't let that happen." Ryan leaned over the holographic interface, analyzing the threat. "The prototype can counter it, but we need precise timing. If we mistime the response, we'll be trapped in the gravity collapse." Aaron nodded. "Then we do it perfectly. Prototype, follow my commands. This is the moment we show the galaxy why humans survive." The singularity bomb fired, a dark mass of energy forming and growing rapidly. Space itself seemed to distort as it expanded. The prototype reacted, generating a counter-gravitational field, stabilizing the local space and neutralizing the bomb's collapse. Then, with incredible precision, energy pulses struck the flagship, destroying the singularity generator before it could reach full power. Crichton's voice broke with rage. "No, this cannot be. They are invincible." The remaining Empire ships tried to escape, but the prototype systems were too fast, too advanced. Targeting arrays disabled engines, communication arrays were destroyed, and energy blasts shredded the fleet. One by one, the ships were destroyed or forced to retreat. The Empire, the strongest power in the galaxy, had been humiliated by humans and their forgotten Earth weapon. Inside the control center, the crew exhaled collectively. Sweat and tension covered their faces, but pride and determination shone even brighter. "We did it," Lena said quietly, voice trembling. "We actually did it." Aaron looked out at the void, energy streaks from destroyed ships drifting silently. "Yes, but the Empire will return. This is just the beginning. We've proven humans can rise, that we can fight, that we can win. But we need to be ready for what comes next." The prototype pulsed beneath them, a living entity waiting, learning, and evolving. It had not only destroyed the Empire fleet, but had done so in partnership with humans, proving the value of creativity, strategy, and resilience. Rion's voice was awed. "It's learning faster than anything we've seen. Every battle, every command. It's becoming stronger, more intelligent. The Empire doesn't even realize it, but this ship, it's not just a weapon. It's a new force in the galaxy." Aaron's eyes gleamed with determination. "Then we make sure it remains in human hands. We'll train it, guide it, and show the galaxy that humans are not weak. They are thinkers, creators, warriors, and we will not be ignored. As the prototype floated in orbit, its systems pulsing with renewed energy, the crew realized the significance of what they had accomplished. The Empire had underestimated humans, dismissed them as primitive, and nearly paid the ultimate price. Humanity had reclaimed its legacy, not with numbers or brute force, but with intelligence, courage, and ingenuity, amplified by a weapon that was meant to protect their ancestors. Outside, distant stars glittered like silent witnesses. The void of space was calm once more, but the message had been sent. The Forgotten Earth prototype had struck back, annihilating the Empire fleet and proving that humans were a force to be reckoned with. And deep within the ship, a faint pulse echoed, almost like a heartbeat. The prototype was awake, aware, and ready for whatever challenge the galaxy would throw next. Humanity had won this battle, but the war for recognition, survival, and the reclaiming of their true legacy was far from over. Aaron turned to his crew. Rest while we can. We've survived today. But the galaxy is watching. We've shown them what humans can do. Now we prepare for the next stage. And next time, they will not be ready for what comes next. The crew nodded, exhausted but proud. The prototype thrummed in agreement, a silent promise that together, humans and their forgotten weapon would shape the galaxy's future. The stars beyond the prototype flickered in the distance. The galaxy had witnessed the awakening. Humanity had reclaimed its voice. And the legend of the Earth prototype had begun. A story that would be remembered for generations. The calm after the storm of battle was only temporary. The void of space was littered with wreckage from the Empire fleet, drifting silently among the stars. Captain Aaron Solis stood in the control center of the prototype, staring at the remains of ships that had once represented the might of the Galactic Empire. Their power had been immense, yet human ingenuity, courage, and the Forgotten Earth prototype had proven stronger. But Aaron knew the Empire would not give up so easily. Across the galaxy, leaders would demand retaliation, more powerful fleets, and secret weapons. Humanity had survived, but now they would be hunted. And yet, for the first time in centuries, humans held the advantage. The prototype was theirs, fully operational and aware. Lena Vorek leaned over a holographic display, tracking energy fluctuations across the system. They're retreating, but scattered fleets are already sending distress signals. The Empire will consolidate and return with reinforcements. They'll be furious and smarter. Ryan Cale added, "Our victory today has shown them what humans can do. They underestimated us, and now the galaxy knows that humans are not to be dismissed." Aaron's gaze hardened. "Then we ensure that message is remembered. This prototype is more than a weapon. It's proof that humans, when combined with creativity, courage, and determination, can overcome any challenge." Inside the prototype, energy pulsed like a heartbeat, a living testament to human ingenuity and the legacy of a forgotten Earth. The crew had formed an unspoken bond with the ship. It reacted to their instincts, anticipated their strategies, and amplified their decisions. This partnership was more than a tactical advantage. It was proof that humans and their technology could work in harmony to achieve the impossible. Suddenly, alarms blared. Sensors detected a new signal approaching at incredible speed. It was a smaller fleet, one that had escaped the initial battle, but it had regrouped and returned with reinforcements. The Empire had brought new leaders, new strategies, and new weapons designed to counter the prototype. Aaron moved to the control panel, determination flashing in his eyes. They want a final confrontation. Then that's what we give them. Lena, Rian, prepare the ship for full combat mode. Prototype, let's show them what humanity can do when we fight together. The prototype responded instantly, energy pulses flowing through the hull, systems activating, shields strengthening, and weapons aligning. The ship moved as if it had a mind of its own, but one that understood and trusted human leadership. The Empire fleet emerged from hyperspace, dozens of ships bristling with advanced weapons. At their center was a massive command vessel, even larger and more fortified than before. Admiral Crichton, humiliated and furious, was aboard. "This ends today," he declared, voice echoing across his ship. We will destroy that human and the prototype, and humanity will kneel once more. Aaron's jaw tightened. Not today, Crichton. Humanity rises. We survive, we fight, we win. The battle began with a roar of energy and light. The Empire fleet attacked in coordinated formations, but the prototype was faster, stronger, and more intelligent. Energy shields absorbed the onslaught, and weapons countered the Empire's strikes before they could reach the hull. "Captain," Lena shouted, "they've deployed a new weapon, a phase disruptor beam. If it hits, it could penetrate our shields." Aaron's mind raced. Prototype. Divert energy to forward shields. Focus on predictive evasion. Ryan, calculate the trajectory and timing for countermeasures. The prototype reacted with precision, weaving through the beam, creating defensive energy pulses that neutralized its destructive power. Smaller ships attempting to flank were trapped in gravitational currents, their engines failing under sudden overloads. The Empire fleet struggled to adapt, but the prototype anticipated every move, every pattern, and every strategy. "This ship," Ryan whispered, awe in his voice, "it's not just fighting, it's predicting, learning, evolving. Every maneuver we make, it turns into a new advantage. We're unstoppable together." Aaron nodded. "That's human ingenuity amplified. The Empire relies on numbers and technology, but we rely on creativity, strategy, and adaptability. That's why we win." Hours passed in a blur of attacks, counterattacks, and strategic maneuvers. The prototype's energy pulsed brighter, shields shimmering, weapons firing with surgical precision. Empire ships fell one by one, their numbers dwindling as the humans' combined intellect and the prototype's power turned the tide of battle. Finally, only the massive command vessel remained, its weapons primed for a desperate final strike. Crichton's face was pale, rage and fear battling within him. This cannot be. The prototype? The humans. It defies logic." Aaron's voice was calm but commanding. "It's not logic, Crichton. It's human creativity. It's our courage, our determination, and our will to survive. And it's stronger than your empire." The command vessel fired its ultimate weapon, a massive gravitational disruptor intended to tear the prototype apart. Space around it twisted violently, stars bending as the beam expanded. Aaron studied the energy patterns, calculating timing, velocity, and countermeasures. Prototype, focus shields on Vector 1. Divert energy to engines. Ryan, guide the trajectory. Lena, prepare counterpulse. The prototype moved with grace and precision, weaving through the deadly beam. Energy pulses from the hull neutralized the disruptor's effects, and in a single, fluid motion, the ship launched a concentrated energy strike at the command vessel's core. Explosions rippled across the enemy ship as its systems failed, and with a final pulse, it broke apart, drifting in silence through the void. The remaining Empire ships, now leaderless and disoriented, attempted to flee, but the prototype anticipated every escape vector. Automated energy traps disabled engines, destroyed weapons, and shattered formations. In less than an hour, the entire Empire fleet had been annihilated. Humanity had not only survived, they had won decisively. Inside the control center, the crew let out collective breaths they hadn't realized they were holding. Lena smiled, exhaustion and relief mingling. We actually did it. Every ship, gone." Ryan's eyes shone. "We've shown them. Humans are not weak. We are creators, thinkers, warriors, and we're not to be underestimated." Aaron's gaze returned to the stars. "This victory is more than destruction. It's proof. Proof that humans, when united with courage, strategy, and ingenuity, can rise against any force no matter how strong. The Empire will remember today, and the galaxy will know." The prototype pulsed gently, as if acknowledging the words. It had fulfilled its purpose in battle, but, more importantly, it had chosen its allies, humans. Together, they had changed the balance of power in the galaxy. As the crew navigated through the wreckage of the battle, they realized the true impact of their victory. The Empire would not easily forget the power of the prototype or the humans who commanded it. Across the galaxy, news of the battle would spread. Tales of a lost Earth weapon and the humans who wielded it, capable of defeating an entire fleet with intellect, strategy, and courage. Aaron turned to his crew. This is only the beginning. The galaxy now knows humanity is more than survivors. We are creators. We are thinkers. We are fighters. And the prototype, our weapon, will help us secure a future where humans are never underestimated again. Lena nodded. And with the prototype, we can defend not just ourselves but all humans, wherever they are in the galaxy. Ryan's eyes glimmered. This is more than a ship. It's a symbol, a reminder that humans are capable of greatness, even when the odds are impossible. The prototype pulsed once more, energy flowing like a heartbeat through its hull. It was no longer dormant, no longer a forgotten weapon. It was alive, aware, and aligned with the humans who had awakened it. The galaxy had been reminded that humans, once dismissed as weak and primitive, could rise above any challenge. Outside the system, the stars glittered, as if applauding the triumph. Wreckage of the Empire fleet floated silently, a testament to human ingenuity and courage. The void was calm once more, but the galaxy had changed. Humans were no longer invisible, no longer ignored. They had proven their worth, not through numbers or force alone, but through intelligence, creativity, and the will to survive. Aaron took one last look at the remnants of the battle. "We've won today," he said softly. "But the galaxy is vast, and challenges will come. We have the prototype, we have our crew, and we have our humanity. Together, nothing can stop us." The crew nodded, proud and determined. They had faced the impossible, stood against the mightiest power in the galaxy, and emerged victorious. Humanity had risen, not just in survival, but in glory. And in the quiet of space, the prototype pulsed like a living heart, a beacon of human ingenuity and resilience. The forgotten Earth weapon had awakened, and with it, the galaxy would remember. Humans were not to be underestimated. The stars beyond the prototype glittered like a silent audience. A new era had begun. Humanity had triumphed, and the legend of the forgotten Earth prototype would echo across the galaxy for generations. Captain Aaron Solis looked at his crew, proud and determined. "Rest for now," he said, "but soon we prepare for what comes next. Today, humanity has proven itself. Tomorrow, we will shape the galaxy." The prototype pulsed in agreement, alive, aware, and ready. Humanity had risen, and the galaxy would never forget.